Good morning. It's 8:30 and it's Wednesday. That means we're here with Charlie O'Hara back in studio. Thanks for coming in again.
Great to be here.
I appreciate it a lot. It does sound like we do have a call on the line. So first caller, what's your question for Charlie?
Hey, yes, Charlie. My wife's an RN, and she got hurt on the job at work lifting a patient, and she has had back surgery. We have an attorney. We went to court once. She was granted the maximum under Kansas law. Now the insurance company has appealed it. It went through the board. And, Charlie, we've been fighting this thing for 3 years, and she's in pain, and nothing seems to be getting resolved. How long does a workman's comp case usually take to settle?
Well, I don't know that there's any for sure length of time. That sounds like quite a while, and I think I'd get a hold of my attorney and see what the holdup was. I mean, everything varies. As I've said on this show repeatedly, every case is different. The facts are always different, and everything's different. That seems like a long time for someone that's hurt and can't work or has a disability. I think I would check with my attorney and see if there's something that couldn't get that going on. That sounds like a long time. So the best thing to do is check with your attorney, have a good communication with your attorney so you know what's going on and he can explain it or she can explain it. And I think that would probably, hopefully, get the matter going one way or the other. At least you know what's going on. Okay?
Do you work with a lot of different workman's comp cases, or do you defend a lot lot or
we don't do any of those.
Okay.
I used to do them when I first started, but
okay.
I don't do any of them now. But that still sounds like quite a while. I mean, 3 years for something to go through the system is quite long. I mean, there's exceptions to every rule, but that's quite long, actually, quite long.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we unfortunately don't have any other calls right now, so if you have a question, give us a call, 436-1212. But Charlie, we were talking a little before coming on live about this investigation in maize, and you made a comment that I kind of thought was, I don't know, you said it very pointedly, but the fact that there is an investigation doesn't necessarily mean anything. It's just that they're looking into something. It's a personnel issue, but apart from that, we don't really know a whole lot.
No, and the problem with something like that is when it gets out, everybody jumps to conclusions. They say, oh, it's probably this or it's probably that, and it may not be anything. Someone may have made an allegation against someone. Obviously, the government wants to check that out to see if it's true. If it's not true, there's not going to be anything there. And you know, you have to be careful because people get mad at people and say things. Who knows? And usually something like that may involve some individual procedures or individual things that someone's done that probably don't relate at all to the school system. They may have brought some of their personal things there to school, or they may have used the computer there that they're looking for. I mean, your mind can just run wild. Nobody knows what it is, and we ought to wait. On all these things where there's an investigation, the best thing to do is wait. People don't like to wait. They like to speculate, but we really shouldn't. We should just wait and see what the result is, because we don't want to ruin people's reputations or ruin a school system just on conjecture until we really know what the facts are.
Well, I may be going against your advice with this next question, but knowing that the FBI was called in, that it wasn't necessarily, you know, I don't know with that, is that the larger, I guess the fact that they have gone in with the Federal Bureau of Investigation, does that make a difference in knowing some of those details, or does that say anything that the FBI has been called?
Well, I think the FBI actually investigates certain different things sometimes than the local people do, and they have different areas that they go in. I mean, we usually think that's a big case when the FBI is involved, and many, many times it is, but they have to check out certain things that are reported to them regardless of whether they really think that it's a good case or not. When there's a search warrant done in a case, that means a judge has read an affidavit sworn under oath by a law enforcement officer and decided that they need to go in and investigate something. So that gets a little more serious, but still that doesn't indicate that there's any criminal activity or anything. It just means that people suspect there is. They need to look at the facts. There may not be. So we should all be patient.
Okay, we'll be patient. Okay. We're unfortunately out of time today, but right now at 8:34, we're taking a break. We're back in just a couple of minutes.